Welcome back to episode 47 of Insects for Fun, the podcast where every Tuesday we talk about something entomological. This week is another listener request from the Heartland for a special kind of dragonfly. The blue Morpho Dragonfly, or Morpho Dragonfly, scientifically known as Zenithoptera lanei, is a beautiful dragonfly found within open marshes of Central America and the northern half of South America. They belong to the family Libellulidae, which happens to be the largest family of dragonflies, and they are commonly referred to as skimmers. Now, as the name suggests for today's special dragonfly, the wings on these incredible creatures are a reflective blue, just like the blue Morpho butterflies, but this is exclusively on the males. These dragonflies also have the same light diffracting properties as Morpho butterflies, meaning the wings are not actually blue at all, but get their intense color through light moving through a bunch of crystal-like structures in the wings. These then bounce off and cancel out new light hitting the wing's surface. The underside of their wings are also a completely different color, similar to Morpho butterflies, except these insects have a mix of deep metallic red and black. For the most part, I would say they're black, which I guess is technically the absence of color, but this isn't an art lesson or a physics lesson, so we're gonna move on. The life cycle of a Morpho dragonfly begins like all other dragonflies, with eggs being oviposited near water and go through a series of molts underwater as predatory nymphs, or naiads. The naiads for dragonflies in the family Libellulidae are more stout than others, and they also have half their face covered by the lower jaw or labium, which is shaped like a spoon to capture smaller insects. In general, most naiads in this family hunt down prey by camouflaging in with their background, either by burying themselves into sediment or clinging on to plants and rocks. The adults feed on many small-bodied flying insects, like moths, mayflies, midges, regular flies, and sometimes wasps, although the dragonflies within this family that live in Central and South America often avoid bees and wasps altogether.
Because you're in the danger zone?
Another commonality with skimmer dragonflies is that they often love to oviposit their eggs within still water, but some do it in streams or moving currents as well. This is not the case, however, for the Morpho dragonfly, which do in fact prefer still waters. These dragonflies operate during midday, which leaves them with high exposure to UV and heat. Now, fortunately, they were built for this, and actually have evolved some special traits to maneuver through the most daunting of days. The blue reflective wings actually act as heat conductors, pulling heat away from the body and diverging it through their wings. They also have another special skill which is only found in one other genus of dragonflies, and that would be the ability to fold their wings vertically, like a damselfly. When these dragonflies have their wings spread out, it actually pulls heat from the body, and once the dragonflies close their wings, they can then begin heating their body again by absorbing light into the deep red/black undersides. This is why these dragonflies will flap their wings periodically while perched within their territory. Skimmer dragonflies have evolved many different methods for keeping themselves cool during the day. This is because in general, most skimmers love perching on plants, twigs, or other upright surfaces in or near water, so they can focus on observing the open air for prey and threats. Some behavioral adaptations seen in other skimmers to stay cool would be to take an obelisk posture, which literally comes from the word obelisk, meaning a tall tapering pillar, and the stance is exactly that, with dragonflies lifting their abdomen up vertically into the sky to limit the surface area receiving UV light. Another more simple method would be to simply skim over the water and lightly touch the surface, which drops their body temperature. I've actually seen both of these behaviors many times with skimmer dragonflies. Now, aside from these tactics to drop their body temperature, skimmer dragonflies tend to be territorial, and today's Morpho dragon is especially so, sometimes going as far as biting each other during aerial combat. One behavioral trait noted by a research team was that males will always turn and face the opposing male with a flash of their open wings before taking off into aerial pursuit. It is believed that this is to throw the target off guard by blending in with the background. The iridescent blue of their wings acts as a form of camouflage against the water's surface, which also helps them evade predators like birds, which rely on sight. In a separate study, scientists found that the blue on their wings actually dictates how aggressive other males will be within their territory. The study was done in Brazil with wild-caught dragonflies, and they were able to test aggression levels by literally tethering dragonflies to wooden stakes using a cotton string, and then introducing them to another male. The dragonflies used in this study were separated into two groups. One was the control group, which had 55% of their wings artificially covered using a black marker that could not reflect UV, and the other only had 10% of their wings covered. The results found that dragonflies with less reflective blue in the presence of another male were far less likely to be engaged in battle, as opposed to dragonflies that had a greater area of blue on their wings. This basically means that males rely on the color of their wings to identify the gender within their own species. That's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, there is not a lot of information available specifically for this species of dragonfly, which is why we're going to end the episode here. But if you want more insects for fun, don't worry. There is currently a YouTube Shorts channel which I recently started titled Insects for Fun, same logo, and I'll put the link in the description. And this summer I will be opening up the Patreon, which offers a collection of monthly bonus episodes for an entirely separate series talking about cool discoveries and noteworthy news in the world of entomology, among other perks. If you'd like to check out the Instagram page or Facebook page, you can find the links to those in the show notes as well as episode description. And if you'd like to send me an email, you can do so at insectsfordummies@gmail.com. And lastly, of course, please consider rating the podcast. It really helps spread it to more individuals. Thanks again for listening, and you'll hear from me again next week.